I'm used to being an A.
Yeah,
I'm always first person in everybody's phone. So I receive like dials all the time.
Yeah, I noticed that at like 9 o'clock at night. I was like,
Fine, don't even sweat it.
Did you have my text last week?
What?
Did you have my text last week?
A teat. Oh, well, I met with him and Harvey. They were lovely to me. I'm sorry they were crappy to you.
Oh, no, they were fine with me. They were just nasty to Stacy, and I don't tolerate
not.
people being
No, I
nasty to my girl.
Talk to them.
He reached out to me. When did he call me?
And that's what I was like, I just wanted,
Yeah.
did you guys sign an agreement? What is
No,
happening?
I met them on
Because I told you
Tuesday.
to talk to Stephanie.
Yeah. So I met with them on Tuesday and sent them a bunch of potential neighborhoods to look at. I didn't see any.
Did he sign his buyer agency yet?
No, they
Yeah.
haven't done that yet. I'll bet my phone.
Yeah, I texted you on Tuesday at 4:30.
Okay, well, that's about the time, so.
Elena, did we buy some property in Peyton?
We did not. There were other offers that came to us.
Oh, you got in a multiple offer situation?
Yeah. Which I'm actually very grateful for because this agent was not one I'd really want to work with. So, guys.
Yeah, you can tell that stuff for sure. Can tell that stuff for sure. So Mara's back from spring break. She looks very tan.
Mara.
I don't know.
Sorry you can't all see her, but they're trying to fix my computer so I can print.
She looks fabulous. I saw her earlier
I know, I saw a picture.
hanging out at the beach.
I am ready to hang out at the beach. That would be good
Nobody
for
sent
me.
a beach invitation. I don't know why.
I
I
know,
believe
yeah.
I'm actually going to the beach at the end of April.
Are you really?
My quasi stepbrother is getting married in the Outer Banks of North Carolina.
Stacy, the printer dude's hanging, looks like he's looking for somebody. I'll let you.
Oh, thanks.
Did y'all get your printers figured out?
No, still got mine, but yeah.
Everything's different.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah, he's like, I don't.
Took a while to get mine figured out.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Can you have someone else's printer?
Yes.
Or computer, sorry?
Yeah, you need yours since I'm trying to take the website. real quick.
Yeah, so let's get those, done, especially those of us that are up here on a regular basis.
Yeah, I
So
need
did he get mine fixed?
Yes.
Did he, so he was able to see that when you launch it, sometimes it doesn't go?
Yes.
And then sometimes it prints like
The
8
simple answer
copies
is
of.
yes, we're good.
Thank goodness. Did he get Andy set up?
No.
Okay,
It's not boring.
it's not boring. Printers drive me crazy though. I like technology to be like my car. I turn on the button and it goes. That's what I want.
Push button, easy peasy.
Yeah, I know. Put the key in, it should go. So anyway, I want to hear something good. Like we got all our spring breakers back. Mara's back, Jamie's back. So who's got good news to share? Come on. Go, Mara, go. What is it?
Well, I landed in Denver and got my phone back into service, and Miss Sherry, fabulous Miss Sherry, got Clarkson under contract.
Yay. Is she sitting beside you and just
Yes.
hiding from the camera? Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Yes, congratulations. Congratulations. You guys needed that uplift because I know you were both feeling kind of down about the other one. So good. All right. I love it. Who else has got good news to share, Amanda?
We put a house on the market on Friday and it was off the market, 10,000 over asking by Friday night.
Perfect. Just like old times.
Just like old times, felt good.
Yep. I want to talk about those buyers a little bit, but who else has got good news to share? Nobody?
I got to spend time at a couple of open houses today. Thank you, Sherry and Mara. Sherry and I were blown away in Leiden on Saturday, and then I was over in Brighton with Amir yesterday. And not a lot of people out, but some potential. I got a potential buyer yesterday. Once their credit is fixed, they're moving back to the state, so maybe a year down the road.
Nice.
Fine.
And Amir got a potential seller.
He did.
Neighbor. By the
Thank
way, the
That's
people
me.
that hosted that open house the day before you guys, found 2 prospective sellers. So all I get to say, if Keaton's house doesn't go under contract this week, you might all want to go work that open house, because it sounds like to me there's clients
Yeah.
out there.
Out of 4 visitors, 4 groups of visitors, we got a potential buyer and a potential seller.
Right, I'll take that all day long, right?
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. All right, anybody else? Elena's working with a buyer. All right, well, welcome back. So spring has sprung. I think that, so first of all, Margaret Gate Homes has a listing that's probably hitting the market the weekend after Easter, considering Easter's only 2 weekends away and there's no way we'll be ready for this weekend. In Wyndham Park.
Oh, yeah.
Now, most of the patio homes in Wyndham Park, looks like grandma still lives in the house. This one is not grandma. This one,
It's not great.
let's put it this way. My stager walked in and went, well, I've got nothing here to do except maybe move a couple pieces of exercise equipment. Right? So anyway, if y'all have a Wyndham Park patio home buyers in the mid 7s, you probably want to talk to Margaret or
I
Stacy.
always like to look those on the outside. My
Yeah.
sister used
Yeah,
to live
what's
right
the-
nearby.
It's a tint, to keep the sun out.
Yeah. Oh, you're
But
showing
the,
stuff.
I showed her the bedroom. It's like, it was a tint and it turned, so she's pulling that down. And after that, I'm like.
Yeah,
when.
Yeah, it's done. Like I can't make a bed.
I don't know what you need to do in there.
Exactly.
I'm like, looks great, thanks.
Here's the other thing I'm seeing. And we had this happen with specifically Amanda's. But I think I want to tell the story if that's okay, Amanda. So
Be my guest.
property in the mid-9s, Ranch, Candelas, doesn't matter where it is because the story's the story. First weekend out, got an offer, was contingent,
Asked for concessions.
and they asked for concessions. And Amanda, with the way she prices her homes, one of her theories and beliefs is that first weekend on the market out here and these price points, I am not going to suggest that my sellers take a lower price. I'm not going to suggest that my sellers give up concessions unless there's some extenuating things in there that it absolutely makes sense. Like somebody's going to close in 7 days. Maybe that might be something you'd consider. Maybe. She wrote a counter offer and said buyer didn't sign it. That same weekend, young couple walks into the open house, unrepresented, came back and looked at the house the following day, and we're looking at another property in another community in our area. And they decided to write using the agent that was hosting that open house, mistake number 1. And number 2, they wrote on a property that really wasn't everything that they said they wanted, but they wrote on it anyway and didn't call back Amanda. Next weekend happens. Open house is happening. Another unrepresented buyer walks in. This unrepresented buyer is cash. Remember the contingent offer who didn't sign the counter offer? They submitted an offer. Basically the same one that they submitted before, except no longer contingent and no longer wanting the concessions.
It was no contingent, no concessions.
Oh, sorry.
But the
still-
contingency was under contract.
Okay, so a better contingency, no concessions. Buyer number 2, who wrote on a community otherwise, terminated that contract for all the reasons that Amanda warned them about. And they terminated the contract and came back and wrote an offer with the bad agent that they picked up at the other open house. And that, guess what? The cash buyer won. So we need to be telling these stories to our buyers, right? Buyers still believe it's November and December where they can pump the brakes for a few days. They can pump the brakes for a couple of weeks. Guess what? Property priced right shows amazing. There's going to be other people after it. And if you wait, it might not be there. Right? So I don't tell you that story to tell you how great Amanda and Nikki are or how great we are or all of that. We already all know that, right? But the story is about the consumer. And if they are serious about those houses, they got to get serious now or they're going to lose. Okay? Thoughts, questions, statements?
I think the difference, like, you know, I think people are afraid, yes, we're not in that market where people are offering 100,000 over asking just to get the property. We're not in that market. But we are in a market where multiple people can be interested in the property. You may not have to go crazy over asking, but you gotta put in a competitive offer
Mhm.
and be serious about what's, like, you don't wanna dilly-dally and wait for 2 or 3 weeks and think it'll still be there, because it probably won't.
Right. But ours, I don't know, Amanda,
That's the story, she was telling the story
for
about the
10,000
other.
off
Yeah,
over.
it's not like, it's just that they came back, we waited. And by the time all those people came back, there was another buyer who was strong in cash and ready to go.
Yeah.
Mhm. And it's
so-
closing next week.
Yeah.
Right?
And so it's not like, yeah, again, it's not like you have to go crazy over asking. It's not like she had to do anything weird, like waiver appraisal, or not appraisal, or inspections or anything like that. She got to do everything she wanted to look at the property,
Right.
and
Yeah. The key is you can't dilly dally,
Just don't
right?
wait.
If it's the right house, you gotta move, right? So anyway, a bunch of things I want to make sure is on everybody's radar. First of all, ladies, March 30th, Lead Her Ship is doing their axe throwing.
Hey, you're wearing
right?
a shirt.
We're going to Flannel Jacks. Nikki's already dressed and ready for it. My apologies that you all can't see the room, but because of my computer, I'm using my iPad today, so that's why I can't turn around on
We
the
all
camera.
look 20 years younger, just take our word for it.
Sure you do. Okay, so that's going on. I won't be there because I'm gonna go throw bowling balls.
I don't
Is it
remember.
6? I don't know.
don't
I didn't
remember.
write down much time on any of this stuff. Okay. Emails going out today. I'm drawing the line in the sand. Emails going out today. The challenge for April, 30 coffees, 30 days. Okay.
Yes.
This is an opportunity for you to get into motion with your people in a very comfortable way and invite people to coffee. Okay. Anyone who signs up and says, yes, I will take the challenge, will get a $5 Starbucks card for me. All you have to do is say, I'm going to do it, and I'll give you $5. Okay. Get you started. I'll buy your first cup of coffee. And maybe if it's one of those little small Americanos, I might buy 2. I don't know. Anyway, it's at Starbucks, right? For those who successfully complete 30 unique coffee appointments, which means it's 30 different people in the month of April, will get put with their name in a hat, which will be drawn out by Kevin. And the winner of that gets $100 Starbucks or Jiggies or whatever other coffee shop you want. I don't care. Okay. So this is an opportunity for you to reconnect with people and talk about what's happening in your world. Okay. So who's taking the challenge in here?
I wasn't going to, but now I am.
All right. Sherry and Mara are in. They're they're like, Margaret's buying my first cup of coffee. I'm in. Okay. All right. The other thing that came out last week, I hope you all saw it, was the home buying information night. Okay. All you have to do is invite people. That's all you have to do. Okay. Stacy created some marketing materials. The templates are in Canva. All you have to do is add your name and address. You can get it all over social media. You can hand it out to people. You can do whatever. And then just get there and bring your people. That's all you got to do. Bring people. I'm going to, oh, I thought that's my ring for Andy. And I was like, she's right next door. Why is she calling me? You bring your people. I'm going to teach the seminar. Okay. So we've got 5:30 to 6, kind of a social time. We're going to have some snacks and some, lemonade, iced tea, something like that. That'll all be there. It's going to be in the Old Town office. I can get a lot of people in that training room by removing the tables. So we're just going to set up like classroom style and chairs. You come with your people. I'll feed them. Everybody that comes gets a copy of this book. I ordered a case of them. They're already at my house. I paid for the books. You don't have to pay for them. And then I'm going to teach the seminar. So yes, so I'm going to teach for 20 minutes about the home buying process. And I'm also going to talk about some of the things that buyers are telling us, like, I'm going to wait for the crash. So you know that awesome slide that Gary shows at Family Reunion that shows the 4% year over year being right here and we're right here? That dispels that really fast, right? So I'm going to pull some of those slides in. I got a lot of stuff to cram in 20 minutes, so I'll probably be talking pretty fast. Then Mitch is going to talk for 20 minutes and he's going to talk about the lending process. All right, he's going to talk about pre-approval and credit repair and I don't know what all. And then the last 20 minutes will be Q&A where people can ask questions. Mitch is going to be there. I don't know if he's bringing part of his team or not, but they are going to be there to start the pre-approval process for the buyers that come if you want them to work with Mitch. If you've got somebody that's already with a different lender, then that is absolutely fine as well, right? Just the only lender that's gonna be live is Mitch, okay? Mitch is also donating a door prize, a set of AirPods. So everybody that comes will get entered for the AirPods. There's one rule about the event. We do not recruit each other's buyers. Nikki's buyers are Nikki's buyers, Steph are Steph's, okay? When is it, Serena? It's going to be April 19th at 5:30. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Whew. Okay. So the other exciting thing there's so much happening in April, you guys. Like this is over the top, right? Which is great. In April, so when I look at all of you, almost everybody in coaching who actually completed a GPS has one thing on their GPS. Anybody want to guess what it is? It's 2 words. Social media. And as a general statement, not true 100% for all of you, but for most of you, I can say, because I'm Facebook friends with all of you, you ain't doing it. Not at the level you need to be. When you say you're going to do social media as a key component to your GPS, I would expect to see more than a posting a month. So Charles and Bria are having a little bit of fun this month. First of all, they're not going to tell you, but I am. They're having a little competition between the two of them about who can get the most people to their classes to implement what they teach, which means they're going to be monitoring social media. Now, who do you think I want to win?
Bria.
My fellow coach Bria, right? Okay, so we're going to support her at the highest level. We'll still support Charles, but we're going to support them at her at the highest level, right? So they are teaching classes. They're not classes. They are workshops. They are labs, okay? Which means what?
Hands-on, bring your computer.
Hands-on. No, you don't need your computer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they have on the April calendar, I think it's on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's 30 minutes long. They are going to not only tell you how, they are going to give you the script. They're going to tell you the content. They're basically going to say, here, go do this and post it. And they've got different variations of different content and themes and all of that. You guys, if you really meant what you said on your GPS, I expect I will see all of you at all of those sessions. Okay. And start building that up, right? This is something that we say we want to do, but we don't know how, other than Amanda and Nikki, who they've got a lot of this down, right? Bring this into your business. You said you wanted to. Now we're going to teach you how and tell you what to say. Okay. Questions on that? You got to watch the calendar for when those sessions are. Okay. April 5th, next Wednesday. I know I've been talking too long and nothing to drink. Julia Lachey is coming to Denver. Yeah, I need a LaCroix or something. Julia Lachey is coming to Denver. I believe that she is this close, if they haven't already done it, that there's going to be CE credits associated with this. Julia teaches a class about diversity and equality and really helps us identify, thank you, Stephanie, helps us identify ways that we sometimes bring our own biases into situations and it's unintentional. Like she has a story of herself with a buyer that she kept telling him, you don't want to be in this neighborhood, because she had a bias about that neighborhood that was not positive. And when they bought this house and she was against it the whole way through, she met them 4 years later and all they could talk about is that house was the best thing that ever happened to them. So she talks about herself being a woman of color, bringing in biases, right? It's unintentional. How many of us hear the words, can you make sure I get put in a good neighborhood, Jamie? Well, what's a good neighborhood to you may not be a good neighborhood to somebody else, right? Great. So that could be CE credits. So that's in the morning on April 5th. And then in the afternoon, we are having masterminds. Okay. There's 3 different sessions of masterminds. One is for the top 100 agents in Colorado. The Market Center has 6 people attending that. Unfortunately, no one in coaching because a couple of us were right at the chin-up bar. We were close too. Okay. However, there's a mastermind for agents. This mastermind is being taught, I can't remember who, but he's a top performing agent here in the area. I love going to masterminds because you sit around other people and you grab ideas from different people. It doesn't really matter who the facilitator is. It depends on the people. So I highly encourage you guys to go to that. I would go to both and they feed you lunch. And if you have an admin or an operations person in your world, they are actually doing one for that as well. Stacy's going to that one. And then I go to the leadership one. So I'm hoping somebody goes to the agent one because I want to know what y'all learned there. Okay. April 8th, it's a Saturday, dual career, 2 free CE credits. Did I say they were free?
Yes.
And there's CE credits, and every single person on this phone, except Serena, needs CE credits to renew your licenses in who knows what time frame. It's about how to read a title commitment. So Andrea Kwami's coming in on how to read a title commitment and how to complete and use the net sheets. Now, some of you have learned and are getting better at reading a title commitment, and some of you still have some ways to go. Okay, so I'd encourage you to jump in on that. The nice part about that Saturday is it's the Saturday of Easter weekend, which means a lot of agents aren't going to put new houses on the market. There's not going to be a ton of opportunities, right? And I'm glad you guys are.
We are.
Because that means there'll be less competition for you.
$2 million property.
Oh, the one with the lighted bar.
All right, $2 million property.
Can I hide Easter eggs all over the property and have people search for them during?
We're not even
No,
having
not
an
even
open house.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't either.
I don't want people tromping through that house.
Nope.
Qualified buyers only.
Yep, that makes sense. April 13th, and that's the kind of property that makes sense to go on the market Easter weekend, but a typical, like I'm not doing Wyndham Park until the following weekend. April 13th, Agent Financials, one of my favorite instructors, Gene Rivers, is coming to Denver. This is a class you have to pay for. Agent Financials sounds so boring, doesn't it? But if I said it's all about how to put more money in your pocket, you guys would be like, how do I do that? Where do I go?
Mhm.
Right? That's what it's about. How do you run your business to put more money in your pocket? Now, some of you don't invest enough in your business and therefore you're not growing your business, right? There's a balance to that. What I love about Gene is I guarantee he's going to be telling some stories. So you're going to learn a lot from him. I would encourage you to go to that. I am not going to that one, which I'm bummed about, but it is what it is. April 18th. Clauses.
And not
Hey,
the-
Margaret.
Mr. and Mrs.
Not the ones in the red suits. No. Okay. Even with you guys, Margaret, how do I write in the contract? Blah, blah, blah. Or I need to write an email to my client about this. Now, a couple of you have come to this class, but Damian Cox, who is our office attorney, has written clauses for us to use. The question is, do you know where they are? Do you know how to use them? Do you understand the strategies of how the different ones are written so that you implement them correctly? Because what is the most important value we bring to our clients?
Knowledge.
Knowledge of
Contract.
knowledge, right? So do you know how to use the clauses appropriately? I'm going to spend 2 hours working with you on that. There's also emails in those clauses, which are great. Dear Mr. Client, you've now received your HOA documents. I highly encourage you to read them over. If you have any problems, we have until this date to file an objection. Dear Mr. Seller, you've received the title commitment. You need to look it over, blah, 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 right?
What time is that?
That's at 10 o'clock. It's 2 hours on the 18th.
And I highly recommend taking it because I have used so many of these clauses. Because when you see some of these clauses that these other agents write, you're like, seriously,
Mhm.
you don't know. Just learn the clause catalog. It's very helpful.
I don't remember if it's here or there. I don't remember.
Okay, and we'll have to cancel our one-on-one then.
Yes, I do need to move your one-on-one for that class. We're not canceling it.
We're moving it.
We're moving it because it's on our calendars. So if it's on our calendars, if you erase, you must,
Replace.
there we go. All right. My favorite day is coming. April, it's not my favorite. April 27th. One of my favorite coaches in the real estate industry is coming to Denver. Jeff Glover is going to be here on April 27th in the morning, only in the morning. And he is going to be talking about the 17 ways to close business and get business and find sellers in this new market. Does anybody want to learn those 17 secrets? I do. Right? The reason
Ask me when I actually go out of town for once in my life.
yeah, it happens. You got a partner who'll go.
Yep.
I am pretty confident there will probably be some element of a sales pitch there about going to his retreat up for 4 days up in Traverse City. You can get so much content you can put up with the 5 to 10 minute sales pitch. Okay. I don't expect any of you to go to Traverse City because it's not cheap. Okay. However, it's worth it. Anyway, if you can come, I highly encourage it. The region's actually supporting this class, which is why I'm comfortable talking about it with you guys. Normally I won't talk about Jeff's stuff, but if the region is telling you that it's a good thing to go to, then I'm going to tell you it's a great thing to go to. I don't think I've ever sat in the room with Jeff and not learned something I didn't know before. So anyway, join that. If you need links or anything, we have got that. Woo! Okay. How are we doing on time? That's 11. Yes, we're tracking just the way I did on the first one. All right. Did I see? Hold on. Running off of my iPad, I got to pay attention to other things. There was something in the chat. Oh, when is it? Okay, got it. All right. So I have a question. What do you want to talk about today? What's on your mind? What are you struggling with?
Everything.
Well, I can't cover everything in 31 minutes.
I know. I'm actually not. I mean, I'm just always looking to pin people down, but I feel like things are moving along. So
Okay.
I'm sending out my seeds. saying
I saw that.
thank
That was
you
cute.
For helping me grow my business, and that's
Yeah.
really fun.
Okay.
Post is expensive, but
It is what it is. What else? Anything? How many of you are on target to hit your goals for the year? You guys are close. Okay.
anywhere near.
Right? Here's the good news. Everybody's still got a shot because I know what your goals are. And even if you are at 0 for the first quarter, you have time. You have the time to hit them. My question is, are you doing the activities? This is going to become a really hardcore accountability session. I can feel it. Are you doing the activities from your GPSs? If I had you all right now, and I could send Stacy into my room and I could pull out every single one of them. Are you following the map that you wrote for your business? Did you follow it in the first quarter? Are you following your GPS at the level that you wrote it? Oh, I'm seeing some eyes between some of the teams. This is funny. I'm seeing some of the individuals' heads go like this, right? I'm seeing people's screens go off camera, right? I know the answers. You know the answers, right? My first thing would be, if you're off track, let's look at your schedules. Right? What do you have scheduled on your calendars? And I'm not going to ask anybody to pull their calendar up or out or wherever it is. But are you following the schedule that you wrote? And does the schedule that you wrote support your GPS? So let's pretend your GPS says that you're going to go door knocking and you're going to door knock 100 houses a week. My first question is, where is that in your schedule? And if it's not in your schedule, I think we found the first solution to that problem, right? If it's in your schedule, my next question is, did you do it? Or did the snow on Wednesdays stop you? And if you didn't do it, then you're not following your schedules. Now, guess what? We just figured out what you need to do. If you say, Margaret, it's in my schedule and I went door knocking and I did it every day, every Wednesday in January, February, and through today in March, and I'm not getting any traction, now we need to look at skills. Right? Open houses. If you said open houses are a big part of your business strategy, how many of you worked in the first quarter? Now, it would be very easy to say, well, there haven't been that many, Margaret. You didn't send me any emails. Well, you don't have to wait for me, and this group doesn't. So I'm not going to harp on that one too much, right? If your GPS says you're going to talk to 50 people a week, or 100 people a week, or 200 people a week, or one a day, are you doing it? Stacy?
Oh, so why are the firemen here?
I heard the beep a little earlier.
Wow, we got excitement. We got firemen, and evidently somebody triggered a fire alarm. Is
Speaking of firemen. Oh, that's right.
Is Paul Nelson out there? I was trying to see if my friend who's a fireman just across the street. Anyway,
Do something?
I don't know. Stacy will take care of it. The building's not on fire, and I got my iPad, so we can keep going anyway. They're not even that
Margaret,
great.
I've done 17 open houses this quarter.
That's awesome.
That's
I just
awesome.
counted.
That's fabulous, right?
Good for you.
Right? And so that means that you got a lot of prospects.
Yes, and I'm getting better at pinning them down.
So here's the good news, right? You figured out what you wanted to do. You weren't getting the results you did. You and I worked on tweaking some of your
Absolutely.
skills. You implemented the tweaks, and now you're starting to get the wheels turning.
Yep.
And away we go, right?
Yep.
So this is what I'm talking about, right? Are you doing what you said you were going to do? And if the answer is no, then you got to fix that. If the answer is yes, I'm doing what I said I was going to do, and you're not getting the results, then you and I need to be looking at the skills and what you're doing, and where do we need to make tweaks? Not saying reinvent the wheel, but what do we need to tweak? Now, if your goal is there and you're doing it and the skills are pretty good and you're still not getting the results, then maybe you're not doing enough and we need to rework the plan. Okay. So what I would encourage all of you guys to be doing, my eyes are burning.
Well, maybe there is something going on here.
No, just me? Yeah, I gotta like,
Mine are burning because I'm tired.
well, no, I didn't, because Kylie actually slept all night last night, my dog. So I was like, I'm not tired, but my eyes are kind of, anyway. Do we need to do more? Maybe you said in your plan that you were going to have 5 conversations a day. Maybe you said 10, maybe you said 15, I don't know. And if you've been doing that consistently and you're getting some traction, but you're not getting enough traction, maybe that 10 needs to go to 20. Maybe that 15 needs to go to 22, right? Maybe it's not enough activity was built into your plan, but the first key is, are you implementing your plan and is it in your schedule? Does that make sense? Some of you are starting to go like this, right? Lots of reflection there, right? I didn't mean to make this energy go like this, right? But here's the thing. You got time to fix it. You have time to fix it. But you have to do it. And the fastest way to fix it is through action or more action. Questions, thoughts, comments?
No, I mean, it just makes sense. I feel like the more conversations we're having this year, the more open houses we're having, the more interactions we're having, the more business we're finding.
Mhm.
Because I really do think that there is pent up demand from COVID from the last few years.
Mhm.
And people are slowly starting to get back to more normal ways.
Right, agreed. I am hoping that the buyer seminar on the 19th is one that we have the fire department come because we got too many people in Old Town. I would love for that to be a problem. By the way, did I talk about Skills Lab?
No,
Which one? Coming up.
April 19th is a big day, right? I skipped right over it. I did in the other group too, so we need to get an email out. How many of you came to Skills Lab last month with the live listing consultation? What'd y'all think?
Awesome.
So
Brittany was
good.
amazing.
Brittany. Yeah, so good. Yes.
Okay, what'd you learn?
Sometimes knows the answer.
That was a big one. What else?
Streamline, less is more.
Streamline, less is more. Mara and Sherry, what did you learn?
We need to rewatch it because it was so good. I just loved your confidence. And just really listening to the seller's needs.
Okay, awesome. Well, for those of you that missed it, Miss Stacy got very smart and went, boy, did they knock that out of the park. It was so good, you guys, that I had Stephanie Taylor believing I was moving to Iowa and that I was really selling my house.
No to sell. She has a lot of information about this.
Right? But we had to make it legit. I will tell you this, you guys, Brittany, actually, I handed her all the comps and everything on a silver platter, and she went and did additional homework. Right? And so it was pretty, it was probably one of the best skills lab I've seen in a really long time. And so Stacy grabbed it, downloaded it, and it's on the YouTube channel.
And I can send you.
So if you go to the coaching YouTube channel, and you can find the link to the YouTube channel on the productivity coaching page, Facebook page, up in the featured items, you can find the YouTube channel links. So it is out there. If you missed it, go watch it. If you were there and you're like, well, I wanted to see how Brittany did that again, go watch that. So, well, if we're gonna do sellers, I guess what do we need to do?
Yay.
So we are having a live, and this, when I say live, okay, so I know that I disappointed at least a couple of people because we weren't going to somebody's house. Okay, but if 80 coaching clients all showed up for that skills lab, I couldn't take 80 people in one house. Okay, so it was mock in the fact that we weren't in my house. Everything else was real. Okay, so we are doing the same thing next month with a buyer consultation.
Margaret's not the buyer though.
I am not the buyer, nor am I the agent. All I'm going to do is set the stage and be the MC, and then I'm walking away. Okay. We've got another top team who does a great job with buyers on a regular basis, who's coming in and doing their buyer consultation with a true buyer. You want to learn how to handle all the objections? Like, well, I just think the house, they're going to wait because interest rates are going to come back down to 2%, right? How do you handle those things? Right? So let's go watch. So April 19th, 12:30 to 2:30, be in Old Town. Come join us. It's kind of fun to do the theater in the round. Okay? All right. All right. What else? How many of you guys struggle to keep your schedule going?
Doing really good until spring break. I mean, it's only Monday after spring break, so.
It's hard getting money.
You'll get back there.
So it's hard to get motivated after a break, okay?
Mhm. And I actually took a day off yesterday, so it felt really, really good to take a day off yesterday.
You did what? Oh, well, I'm lucky you. I haven't taken one in a while. I'm taking next weekend.
Yeah,
off.
well, I got my house under contract, so I didn't have to do it.
That's true, right? That's the advantage, right? Although I want to do the open houses because I want to find all the prospective clients that are walking in them right now.
Mhm.
So I think everyone, no matter how good you are at it, can always improve, and we always question ourselves on our time blocking and our scheduling and how to get back into the routine, right? So my question, Amanda, for you would be, if you just went on vacation and you got out of your exercise routine, how hard would it be to get back into that? Because you're pretty good about that.
Yeah. I rode the bike for 40 minutes yesterday. It was not fun.
But you just went and did it, right? You knew what you had to do and you just get started again. And I think that's the key, is that the reason that was easier for you than getting back into your business is because the exercise has become such a routine with you that you knew you had to do it and you had to go do it at this time, right? It's like getting our kids ready for school this morning. Wasn't easy, was it, mamas? Right? They didn't want to get out of bed. They kind of enjoyed last week, right? Whether they were here at home, sleep until noon, or they were in New York or Arizona or Cabo or Cancun or wherever we all were. Okay. Cabo, right? So it's developing that business routine. And I will tell you this, I think I'm pretty good at managing my business calendar. But I found myself this morning laying in bed going, as I'm scrolling Facebook before I get out of bed. And here's my friends, John and Sonia. John and Sonia, he's part owner of a very large oil and gas company. She's got a full-time job. They've got kids. And every weekend, Breckenridge skiing, Vegas for a golf tournament. Like they're always gone. I found myself going, wonder how Sonia like shops for the groceries and does the laundry and cleans her house and all of those other things. Like I manage my personal calendar horribly because when I get home and shut down, all I want to do is watch brainless TV and play brainless games on my phone. And the thought of going and putting laundry in a machine where all I have to do is put it in there and push a button just is beyond my comprehension. It's been over 2 weeks since I've done laundry. Yes, my closet's that full. I'm not proud of it, but it is, okay? But it's a constant process. It's a constant growth. It's a constant evolution. Here's what I'm gonna tell you, and I gave this homework to the other group, and I'm gonna give it to you guys too. I want you, between now and Wednesday at noon, spend some time in your calendar for the next 90 days. And I want you to send me screenshots. If you screenshot it monthly or weekly, I don't care. But the very first thing that I want you all to go block in your calendars right now is your personal time. Maybe you're taking vacation. Maybe you have a date night. By the way, date nights don't have to be with significant others.
I take myself on dates.
You take yourself on dates. Maybe it's the children in your world, right? Maybe it's a date with a friend that you haven't seen in a long time. Maybe it's 30 coffee dates in 30 days, right? Whatever your personal time is, right? Maybe you got a graduation. Maybe you've got Easter Sunday, right? If you got personal things that are important to you, block them on your calendar now. Block them right now. You're not working that day. Okay? Amanda's probably taking a day off later this week for her birthday.
What time is the flannel jacks on Thursday?
I don't know.
6 to 8.
Okay. Next, I just gave you a whole laundry list of days that are educational for your business. If these are important, go block them, get registered and block them now. Okay. And don't forget to block Bria's classes and implement those because we want her to kick Charles's butt. Then what are your non-negotiables in your business? Your one-on-ones, your coaching, your classes, right? Block those. When are your open houses, right? I think about Stephanie's calendar. I am willing to bet that she's got Saturdays and Sundays from probably 10 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon penciled in that she's going to do open houses that time. And that's a big green box because green is money.
Mm-hmm.
And if by chance she doesn't get an open house, she's hopefully filling that time with something else that's prospecting based in her business, that she's doing revenue generating activities, right? Block your calendar out. Now, one of my favorite sayings is manage the morning and the rest of the day will happen. What are those key things that you need to get done every day in your business? And get them done in the morning. Eat the doggone frog first.
Eat the dog on frog.
Eat the frog first. Have
How
you
is
not
that?
heard that?
Is that you do the stuff you don't want to do first?
Yes. Okay.
Well, French people might say eat the frog.
Okay. So I've done this. Some of you have heard it. Some of you haven't. Some of you are going to cringe when I do this. I am bringing you a plate. Can you all see it? There's a plate. And I have this perfectly grilled filet mignon. It is bacon wrapped. It is got all the extras put on it, and it is just, you can cut it with a fork. Sitting beside it is this amazing lobster or shrimp or whatever your favorite thing is, right? Pick a seafood, right? And it is sitting there and it is cooked to perfection. The butter is melted on the lobster tail. Can y'all taste it? Can y'all feel it? And then sitting next to it is a frog. He's been boiled. Okay, but there's your frog. Okay, now, in order to win the $1 million, you have to eat that entire plate. What are you gonna eat first? Most people would eat one of the other two things first because they're going to go, oh my God, I love steak. That steak, I've got to eat that first. That's going to be just so wonderful. Then they'll flip to the lobster tail. And now they're full.
You have to eat something they don't want.
And they have to eat something that kind of grosses them out. You guys, we do the same thing in our businesses. Oh, I need to go create a social media post, or I need to go do this, or I need to go do that. Or sometimes we just do things that aren't even business related. Like, oh, I need to go shopping. I need to run the grocery store, right? I need to do laundry because that's more fun than doing lead generation. And yet, what's the most important thing we have to do? Prospect. We need to do something to put ourselves in front of more opportunity. That's what I mean by eat the frog first. The first group cringed when I did that. Some of them had never heard that before. I'm thinking most of you, except maybe Serena, have heard that before, right? Do the stuff you don't want to do first. And then the rest of the day just magically happens. I would much rather go on a home inspection than follow up with open house people. I don't like inspections either. They bore me. Okay, but I'd rather do that than pick up the phone and invite my friend to coffee. So eat the frog first, right? So build that into your time, right? Build that into your calendar so that you're doing those things. And then the key is doing it, following it, right? Follow that schedule. Couple of things that Stacy learned in coaching with Taylor Kerrigan out of Glover is some time management skills. And these two things have they've resonated with me when it got shared with me, and I've really tried to implement it. And you guys, it kind of makes a difference. How many of you have a doctor appointment or a dental appointment, or somebody come into your house, you need to take the car in, or you have personal appointments that need to be done Monday through Friday? Anybody have those that come up all the time, right? What if you picked a day or a morning or an afternoon, I don't care what you do, in your calendar that you never put anything else there except it was open for those kind of appointments? So when you called to schedule your eye appointment because you're not seeing very well anymore, right? And you call to do that exam and they say, well, when would you like to come in? Well, you know what? Thursday mornings are great times for me. You need to schedule an appointment to go take the car in. Can I bring it in on a Thursday morning? If you block a morning or an afternoon or a day in your calendar that's for personal appointments, unless it's an emergency, you schedule it for that day because you know you don't have anything else going on that day. Life-changing, you guys. Life-changing. You don't have to move people around. I did that with my calendar with a little slightly different twist. You'll notice that I'm not around much on Fridays. You can't get on my calendar on Fridays unless you call me directly. Do you know why? Because I would really like to have some 3-day weekends to go back and see the Midwest person. So I've built my calendar. So my personal appointments are on Fridays. One of my good friends, who's my dentist, I told her, can you start having appointments on Fridays? Because that's the day I want to come see you. I don't want to come see you any other day of the week. Okay. It's life-changing. Now, does it happen overnight because you said it? Maybe you just, when I said this, you went, oh my God, that's what I'm going to do every Tuesday. Oh no, I have a doctor's appointment on this Thursday. World's coming to an end. No, it's going to take a while to evolve into it. But it's amazing how quickly you do. Okay. The other thing that Taylor talks about that I'm still working very hard on, it's this really cool time in your calendar. It is the best time in your calendar at all. It's not when you're doing your one-on-one coaching with me either.
Sleep.
It's called oops time.
It is called oops time.
It's called oops time, right? Do not block your calendar for every minute of the day. But as you're blocking out pockets of time, block an hour of oops time. Is that what she says, an hour?
I think she does a half hour twice, but
Either
however,
way.
whatever your calendar looks like. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
I can, yeah.
Oops time. I have scheduled a listing consultation and I'm thinking it's gonna take me 40 minutes and I'm at the house for 2 hours. That might have happened yesterday. Because the listing consultation turned into a staging consultation at the same time. Oops. But maybe I was gonna use that second hour to catch up on email. Now when am I gonna do that? Oops time, right? Maybe a conversation went long or something happened or I got stuck in traffic and it meant that I missed my time to do my email or I missed my time to make follow-up calls for my open houses or whatever you missed doing, go do it during oops time. Okay, you can do it in an hour, you can do you can do 4 15-minute oopses, you can do 2 30-minute oopses, whatever you need, but use your oops time to help you get back on track so you don't get to the end of the day and go, well, now I got to go home and cook dinner and I never got to. You guys, does that resonate with anybody? How important oops time might become?
And for her, a lot of it was the phone calls, like phone calls like can eat into your time, like they break up your stuff. So she's very intentional of in the morning, I make all these calls to all the clients I need to reach out to and say, this is what's happening today. This is what you should expect next. This is da. Okay, do you have any further questions for me? And she's ahead of it. She's telling them this is what's the next step is, and this is all this. And they usually say no. Great. Then she goes and has all these other things. Well, she can't take calls while she's having these other meetings. So if they do call back and go, I know you said this, but I don't understand or whatever, that's where they're like, oh, now I have this little block where I can return all those calls or follow up with these people who we thought they were on track, but something happened or whatever it is, because your clients will have things happen. And once you get really busy, you can't just be sitting there taking calls and returning calls all day because you've got other appointments. And so it's like, oh, I get proactive in the morning and I try to make all the calls, then I move on. But then I have this nice window where I can get back to people again if something comes up that I didn't expect. It's always like, oh, nice, I have a window.
Exactly.
It just, yeah. Otherwise, you could book yourself solid and never be able to get back to them.
Right.
Right. Yeah. You never can catch up on the thing you missed because something ran you late, right?
You said something earlier, and I used to feel this way, but I think I'm just too old to care about it anymore. I like having my evenings off. I like working all day and knowing I don't have to work all night usually. I mean, a project might come up or something where I have to be working on contracts or whatever. But I feel like if I follow this kind of schedule and I'm working a full day, I can have an evening off,
Yeah.
So I don't feel guilty about it.
Exactly, right? Evenings should not be our catch-up time. Evening needs to be our recharge time, right? How many of you have ever gone on vacation and you came back and you felt like a different person? Okay, so my brother's not here, so I'll tell a story. So my brother is a senior manager at Sprouts. High stress, high accountability, high crazy, and he's got a lot of really idiots that work for him. Okay. And he also is working in the pro shop. And he's got 2 kids and he's got 2 grandkids and he's got a wife and he bowls in all these leagues and now he's hurt. So he's dealing with physical therapy. And I got to tell you, he's getting to be a grouchy bear to the point I don't even want to be around him. And I actually like my brother.
Brothers.
I like him a lot. Okay. And so the other night I looked at him and said, would you just go on vacation? Right? Because here's what happens. We get so tied up, right? And when our businesses are going at Mach speed, okay? And we've got, Stephanie, think back to last summer when you were dealing with 3 or 4 contracts all at the same time, right? It was so much fun and your stress level was way up here, right?
So was my bank account.
Exactly, but you had to get through the stress to get to the bank account, right?
Yeah.
But you're tied up and you're tense, right? And you're feeling all this stuff and then some little thing comes at you and unintentionally we growl or we fight, right? Or we don't handle the situation the way we normally would. And I can tell you as a parent, more than once, I had to go to my daughter and I say, I am really sorry. Mom snapped at you. It wasn't you, it was me. We all do it. We're human, right? The biggest cure to that is one thing. Time off. You've got to have time to recharge your batteries. Because guess what? If we aren't charged enough to take care of ourselves, how do we take care of the people we care about, including our clients? Make sense? Now, Sherry and Mara are all feeling pretty good right now. Nikki's feeling pretty good. I think Amanda's feeling, she didn't take the break that the others did, but she take a little bit of time. Jane, like, I'm so glad y'all are back, because last week I was really bored here all by myself. Right? But you guys are recharged. You feel a little differently today, right? Woke up a little different. Some of you had problems getting going, but don't you feel better? Like, if somebody called and terminated a contract on you today, and I'm not putting that out in the universe, would you handle it better today than you did 2 weeks ago? Probably. Because you're recharged. So make sure you're taking time in your calendars and in your life to recharge those batteries. And I'm not always talking about a big week-long in Mexico on the beach. Sometimes just a night. A night of Netflix binging can recharge my battery like there's no tomorrow, right? Take that time for you guys, right? That's super, super, super important. Man, I must not be doing well today because I just lost a whole bunch of people on Zoom. Anyway, we're
You're
also
doing just fine.
wait, Mazo, as we're 2 minutes to go. So thoughts, takeaways, what's your homework? Calendar.
And keep on trucking.
That's the key. Spend some time in the next 48 hours. Look at where you are. Look at what you've done. And look what you need to change and start today. Okay? All right. Go get them. Let's have a big week.